Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals. And for this very special episode, we'll be featuring the LEGO custom Jurassic World Dominion Mosasaurus Part 1. This is in collaboration with Toy Universe, and here are the winners of the Guesses PC contest. Shy, Sean Savior, Mammoth, Pyroraptor, Senior Spino, Venomzilla, Blood Demon, Victor, Gabriel, Miguel. Congratulations everyone! And if you guys want to join yourself, just click on the Extinct Bricks icon and click on the community link to see all our posts. And now on with the making of our Jurassic World Dominion Mosasaurus. And first up, here is our sketch of our Mosasaurus. I'm figuring how big it should be, and look, it has actually doubled up on the size, and the page is no more, it's not gonna fit the whole page. And here is our Mosasaurus after it has been kit bashed. Take a look at it. I've already started on some of the sculpture here, and I've also bulked up the figure by putting in aluminum foil. And now we're just continuing on with our sculpt, and we'll be using equal parts of non-sag epoxy A and B Pioneer. Now, for you to be able to do this, please do not mix it by your own hands. I do use either with gloves, or I use two knives together to mix it, and once it's actually mixed, you can actually already touch it and use your hands to somehow create the figure in itself. And here is how it looks like after we have had some changes into the sculpt of our Mosasaurus, but this is not the final one. We will still have to do some adjustments with the body as well as with the head shape, overall head shape of the Mosasaurus. Also, later on in the process of the making of our Mosasaurus, we will also be adding in several teeth to the Mosasaurus, so it actually is more like a Mosasaurus now. Now we have added in the flippers here, and you can see that the body is slowly taking shape with the clay that we have. Now, as much as possible, we're trying to use as little clay as possible. And now here are some Extinct Bricks special quiz. Question number 1. Mosasaurus lived during what period? Early Jurassic, Late Cretaceous, or Late Jurassic? Extinct Bricks answer is Late Cretaceous. Alright, so now that the overall shape and also the sculpting is now finished, and we have already done with the wet sanding of the Mosasaurus, we're now adding in several spikes on the back of the Mosasaurus to make it more like the movie Mosasaurus. So the Mosasaurus in the movie actually has several scoots and also spikes on the back, so we're adding those here. And after that's done, here's how it actually looks like. And from this point, it actually already looks neat to me, but you know what, after it's done with the painting, I'm sure it's going to look more fantastic. Also, we have added in the teeth for our Mosasaurus. Take note that I have marked in where those teeth will be ending up so that they don't actually overlap. And now it's time for us to paint, and we're using here Bossing number 68 primer in gray. Usually I would go over again with another coat of white for this one, but since the Mosasaurus is almost all blue, we're not gonna do that anymore. And here is how the Mosasaurus looks like after it has been primered. And now that is actually already dried, it's now time to paint. So we'll be using brushes, some acrylics over there, water, and of course my handy dandy hair dryer. Now for painting, we're actually having several thoughts of whether or we're going for a lighter blue on this one, or should it have a more grayish blue. But it actually ended up that we wanted to have a darker blue color on the topmost portions of the Mosasaurus, and the lower portions will have several layers of different types of blue, from darker to a lighter shade of blue on the underbelly. Another Extinct Breed special quiz. Question number 2. Mosasaurus name means what? Muse lizard, monster lizard, or moose lizard? Extinct Breed's answer is letter A, muse lizard. Well, going over with our Mosasaurus here, I think that the earlier color was a bit bright to me, so I added in some more grays to the existing colors that we have here, and we're painting it on the entire figure. Well, not entirely, but on the midsections of the Mosasaurus. Now we let it dry and see where we are at in terms of the coloration of this particular shade of blue. And now that I'm happy with it, we're now going to paint the lower sections of the Mosasaurus. Now this is a much lighter color, almost grayish white even, with a little bit hint of blue, and we're painting it on the areas where there is a lighter section of the Mosasaurus, such as that of the lips, as well as the lower or the underbelly of the Mosasaurus, including of course the underside of the neck and some parts of the tail as well. Once that is done, we have here the next color transition, which is a darker shade of color from the initial color that we have for the underbelly. Now, taking note that the Mosasaurus has several imperfections into its skull, we're now considering painting on over those imperfections, so that when it's done, it doesn't really actually look like imperfections, but are actually incorporated into the design of the Mosasaurus. Alright, so another transition color is now placed on the Mosasaurus. So this is the lighter color shade of blue, and we're painting it on to transition from this side, or the second color of the Mosasaurus, towards the latter half of the Mosasaurus, as you can see here. Now I know that I wanted to have some at least symmetry between the right and left, but since the Mosasaurus is so big, I don't think we can actually do that. But at least doing smaller scales actually deplete those purpose. But at least for those that are more apparent, such as these darker colors of scales on the Mosasaurus, we can at least make it as symmetrical as possible with the other side of the figure. And while drying, this is how it actually looks like, and we just had to add several more details, such as coloration on the eyes, the inside of the mouth, and several other adjustments that I need to do. And here's the final question for our Extinct Breed special quiz. True or false? Mosasaurus had keen sense of smell but poor eyesight. A. True. B. False. Extinct Breed's answer is false. Poor sense of smell and keen eyesight is the correct answer. So if you got all three answers, then you're a genius, man. And that's it for the first part of our Jurassic World Dominion Mosasaurus custom. I'll see you guys next time on part 2. And as we always would say, let your inner dino break roar! Thanks everyone! Bye!